Jessica Holland.
And I'm Kurt Sprang. Right now, New Orleans police are on a manhunt after a wild chase and crash.
WGNO News anchor Sheldon Fox joins us live at the scene of the search for people police are calling dangerous. Sheldon?
It's about as wild as it gets, Jessica and Kurt. We're on Franklin Avenue right at I-10. I'm going to show you the scene right now as we walk this way. Eric's going to pan over to Interstate 10. They were traveling, suspects in a white Malibu, in a westbound direction toward the city, coming from the New Orleans East area. They were being chased by cops. They were trying to pursue a murder suspect in that car, but 4 gentlemen occupied that white Malibu. They got off of the road, and they ended up smashing into that light pole. You can see right there the glass shattered, the concrete on the street. Entergy is out here trying to fix that street light, which has fallen onto the street. Could have been a lot worse if it hit somebody. And then in the distance, you see the Chevy Malibu. 3 of the 4 doors open. The car is still running as we speak. And cops are all over the place. This is near the Edgewood Park neighborhood. They've arrested 1 suspect. They've got 3 that they're looking for right now. An absolute manhunt. I can't even count how many police cars we're seeing right now. And we just saw a group of tactical dressed cops in SWAT gear walk down Sage toward a bunch of houses. Let's take the video for a moment and talk to you about who they're searching for. One of the guys they're looking for right now goes by the name of Lloyd Jones. We are told he is a murder suspect, and they are also looking for 3 other guys, or they're looking for 2 other guys along with Lloyd Jones, according to Gary Flott of the New Orleans Police Department. One cop told me out here that all of these men are dangerous. He asked that we be careful out here while trying to cover this because they have no idea where these guys are. They are presumed armed and dangerous. They were being cased earlier today. They were being chased on I-10. And as we come back out live, we can show you the scene is still very active. You've got the New Orleans police out here. You've got EMS. You've got 1 state trooper out here, at least 1. You've got SWAT. You've got guys clad in SWAT gear walking down Sage, and you've also got Entergy out here trying to handle this situation. Live on Franklin Avenue near I-10, the manhunt continues for 3 suspects. 1 is considered an armed and dangerous murderer by the NOPD. His name is Lloyd Jones. They've got 1 in custody. We'll have much more as we get more information. We're live on Franklin. Sheldon Fox, WGNO News.
Thank you, Sheldon. Keep us posted. Now, another big story. An NOPD officer found guilty of attempted rape and kidnapping. A jury agrees Henry Hollins took a woman to an abandoned warehouse and sexually assaulted her, according to the Times-Picayune. The district attorney's office says he could get as many as 10 years in prison.
2 men arrested for breaking into an adult video store in Lafourche Parish.
The crime was caught on tape, and investigators say one of the suspects is seen committing the same crime twice. WGNO News reporter Darian Trotter has more.
Extreme Video offers hot new DVDs during normal business hours, but it's the attention the adult video store has drawn after hours that's making members of management steaming mad.
Within a 4-month period, we were hit 3 times.
The porn shop has been burglarized twice in the past 3 weeks. Once inside, thieves had a field day, rifling through merchandise, stealing DVDs, cash, and botanical potpourri. It's legal, but some people
smoke it to get high.
Investigators with Lafourche Parish say they got strong leads from security cameras.
It was absolutely helpful.
It helped sheriff's deputies arrest 20-year-old Shane Boudreau and 18-year-old Trey Dufresne.
One of the people that were arrested might have been the boyfriend of someone who had previously worked here, so he must have known the store well enough in order to want to come break in and steal items.
Investigators say the suspects had a pretty unique way of getting to the business, and the same method was used to get away.
What Mr. Boudreau decided to use was a paddle boat. There's a canal that runs right here behind the store.
Boudreau is a suspect in 2 of the burglaries. Aside from fingerprints and the crime caught on tape, investigators say Boudreau also left behind something else linking him to the crime, an iron jack used to shatter the glass door.
We took that jack and figured out pretty quickly that it belonged to Mr. Boudreau's Nissan pickup truck.
And detectives are still looking for 2 other men seen in security camera video with Boudreaux. If you have information that might help investigators, call Crime Stoppers. The number is located at the bottom of your screen. Live in the newsroom tonight, Darian Trotter, WGNO News.
All right, thank you, Darian. Also in Lafourche Parish, deputies say a Crime Stoppers tip helped them identify 3 thieves. They say Bo and Scott Guidry, along with their uncle Flint, stole $2,000 worth of welding leads. They say surveillance video shows the men robbing the business on January the 5th.
New tonight, the NOPD is investigating a double shooting in the Holly Grove neighborhood. They tell us a woman was shot in the back and a man was shot in the thigh. It happened after 6:30 this evening.
A new rape charge tonight against a man arrested for a sexual assault last week. Police charged 39-year-old Dean Kelly with forcible rape, contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile, and disturbing the peace. Monday, police announced a second sexual assault charge against Kelly was likely. They're asking any other possible victims to come forward.
Officers in New Orleans East say they've arrested a mid-level drug dealer thanks to a tip. Tonight, Aaron Torringano is charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute and possession of stolen property. Police say they confiscated 6 pounds of marijuana, $1,600 in cash, and 2 handguns on Dote Street.
The NOPD wants you to take a close look at this surveillance video from Toledano Street. It shows a man rob a barber shop at gunpoint. It happened February the 4th. Police say the robber got away in a car on South Roman Street.
A man who was shot in the neck in an attempted robbery on December 23rd has died as a result of the shooting. Police say this man, 16-year-old Cedric Berryhill of New Orleans, was arrested in January related to the shooting. It happened in the 1500 block of Frenchman near Claiborne Avenue.
North Shore, a man who pleaded guilty to 3 counts of vehicular homicide has been sentenced to 12 years in prison, according to the Times-Pic. Derek Kebido hit and killed 3 Southeastern students driving drunk in March 2009.
Mandeville police want you to take a good look at this surveillance video from a gas station near West Esplanade and Causeway in Jefferson Parish. You can see a person in a Dodge Journey on the right side of the screen. The person reaches over and steals a purse from the vehicle of the woman pumping gas. Mandeville police say the thieves later used the woman's credit card to run up a bill at the Mandeville Chili's.
The St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office is searching for 2 missing men in unrelated cases. They say John Felton Winston disappeared after leaving his girlfriend's home on January the 19th. Deputies say he is in need of medication.
They're also searching for Zachary Pittman. They say Pittman went missing in June of 2009 after a dispute with a family member. He's 26 years old, 5'10", with a thin to medium build.
New Orleans police pound the pavement to try to find whoever turned a pretty Valentine's Day into a vile quintuple shooting scene.
20-year-old Lewis Cook was killed and 4 others were wounded. WGNO News anchor Sheldon Fox.
On this day, you'll find a heavy cop presence in this section of the Garden District. But the heat was everywhere Valentine's Day Monday, right after 5 people were shot in a drive-by that killed 1 man, seriously wounded 3 other men, and sent a baby and her aunt to the hospital.
I really don't feel safe. That's why I go to school, I go to work, I get my children from school, and we inside.
Hit in the thigh, 3-month-old London Myers was discharged from Children's Hospital and is doing fine. Her aunt, Rolnisha, was hit in the foot and is also okay. As for the 3 men shot, they were thought to be the targets, and one police source tells me it might have been a revenge shooting to settle the score from a previous murder. One of the 3 targeted victims was said to have tested positive for gunshot residue at the hospital, a finding that has cops thinking the drive-by could have become a shootout. Here's a 9mm found left behind by one of the victims, police say. The Valentine's Day violence summoned Mayor Mitch Landrieu to the scene. What does it say about the type of criminal you're dealing with, though, that if in broad daylight they're ready to spray into a crowd, hit a child?
It's awful. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. We are in a period of time when people, many people who are carrying guns and spraying indiscriminately don't have any value for life, and we've got to put a stop to it.
For that to happen, the mayor says people need to step up and tell police what they know. Cops know the 20-plus bullets came from an older model white Cadillac that likely stopped in front of this River Garden complex on Felicity before speeding off in a riverbound direction from near Chippewa and St. James Streets.
If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers at 822-1111. That was Sheldon Fox reporting. Murders, strippers, and a city struggling to overcome crime. We're not talking about New Orleans. It's Detroit. In the ABC television show Detroit 187, which you saw tonight here on WGNO. Just like so many movies and TV shows about New Orleans, the people of Detroit wondered how their city would be represented. During his visit to New Orleans, Detroit Mayor Dave Bing says he's sold on the show.
But I mean, we were afraid in the beginning because everybody just wants all the negative stuff to play out. But I think they were pretty fair in their depiction of the city of Detroit. I don't know whether they're going to be re-signed for the next series. We're hopeful that they will be because, once again, we want to start showing the positive side of Detroit.
There are rumblings that ABC will cancel the program, but there's no final decision from the network.
Renee Gill-Pratt takes the stand in her own defense. She tried to distance herself from the corruption surrounding the Jefferson family, but she did say she dated Mose Jefferson for 20 years. The government is trying to show Pratt helped secure $1 million in state funding for sham charities run by the Jeffersons. Gill-Pratt will testify more in her own defense tomorrow.
A Metairie woman convicted of drowning her newborn in Lake Pontchartrain will get a new trial. A judge threw out 23-year-old Sierra Craig's second-degree murder conviction just days before she was expected to receive a mandatory life sentence. A new trial date has not been set. The search for a new UNO chancellor is on hold for now. Between the new round of budget cuts and the governor's study into merging the school with SUNO, LSU system president believes right now the uncertain future of UNO would make it difficult to find a good candidate for the job.
A group of Southern University students is filing a lawsuit trying to stop a possible merger with UNO. The suit argues the Board of Regents is unconstitutional because it doesn't adequately represent the state's citizens. The students say the board is required to have more female and more African American members to truly represent the state's population.
Doctors say a gymnast who injured his spine is making a miraculous recovery.
And we're giving away more iPads. Find out how you can win.